Coach.
Mike, first up, congratulations on winning Coach of the Month. We saw the video with you and your coaches and stuff. What has the season been like for you on that side, where you're getting praise and you're back in the game after an extended absence as a head coach in the NBA?
I don't know if unfair is the correct word, but I'm gonna use it. Obviously everybody enjoys praise, but it's a little unfair from the standpoint that in this league there are a lot of great coaches, and you're not going to be able to win or have success without players first. And then I guess somebody has to get the praise, but it's unfair from the standpoint that I got fantastic staff, and I got a lot of guys on my staff that are head coaches in waiting. That's how confident and how good I feel about most of them or all of them, and you look at the three guys that are on the front of the bench, and they're more than capable of being head coaches, and they've carried me plenty of times, as well as the team, and then even guys behind the bench, they do things that are things that they do where they don't get a ton of praise because it's out of the public eye and stuff like that that keep this thing together and keep everybody connected. So, you're thankful for it. It says a lot about the appreciation that people have for the organization and team and the direction we're going. But at the end of the day, you wish guys like Jordy and Jay and Doug and Luke and LB and I can go on and on, Lindsay and Dutch and so on and so forth, get more praise individually as well. But it's a nice honor, and I'm not trying to downplay it.
Coach Brown, I got another Coach of the Month question, if you don't mind. Your first year coaching Cleveland, your team was 50 and 32, and of course you made it to the playoffs. So I just want to get your thoughts of that first playoff run, that journey on the way to the playoffs, and was there anything that you reached back that you did back then that you use today?
I don't know if anybody can. I think, did we beat Washington in the first round that year? I think we. What's that? I think we played Washington. We beat them in the first round. And the thing that I'll carry forward with me is, I think this is when Damon Jones hit the corner jumper from an assist from LeBron. Is that it? Yeah. And I was so excited that as a first-time head coach that everybody jumped on Damon Jones, and it was a big dog pile, and that's back in the day when I was wearing dress shoes, and so I got corns on my feet, and so in the dress shoes I couldn't really sprint like I did and turn on the jets. So I was like easing my way out there, and I dove on the dog pile. Had a lot of fun. I went back to the locker room. My phone was blowing up, and I get this call from a guy that got a lot of respect, Coach Greg Popovich, and he says to me, "If I ever see you jumping on the dog pile again, I will kick your ass." Click. So if we do win in the first round, I won't jump on a dog pile. That's what's carrying forward for me now.
Can he take you?
No, but he can't, not even close. But I got respect for him, so I might let him get a lick in, or a fake cry with the tears and all that. But he can't take me. Not even close.
I know it doesn't mean much to you, the Coach of the Month thing. I mean, clearly you talked a little bit about that in that video. But what do these little accolades mean? Be it an All-Star, Rookie of the Month, Coach of the Month, to help the team believe in the success, even though I know you'll probably say you haven't done anything yet, but the success that you have experienced so far?
Well, the biggest thing that it does, it brings recognition to the city, to the fans, to the organization, to how hard the players are working, how hard the staff's working. So you really, I truly appreciate it from that standpoint. But like I said, there are a lot of great coaches out there, and I feel like the staff that I have and the players that I'm working with are just tremendous people and players and coaches, and So from the standpoint of the recognition for the city and the organization, the players and all that, it's much needed. We've obviously been out of the spotlight for a while, and anytime that we can shine light on a wonderful city like Sacramento and the organization and the money and the vision and all that Vivek has put into it, you want it, you accept it, and guys have worked their tail off to try to get recognition and more importantly to win. And usually when you win, recognition comes along with it. And so again, I hope I'm not downplaying it too much because I don't want to. It is special. We do embrace it, but at the end of the day, there's just so many other factors that are involved with. When it comes to me with an individual guy winning Coach of the Month, that you just wish everybody can get touched and recognized for it.
Luke wrote Coach Adelman and Saint on the board as the last two Kings coaches, the only other two Kings coaches to win this award. I was curious, have you ever had any kind of relationship with the two of them and to be considered amongst them as how well loved they are in Sacramento's history?
Obviously I know him from coaching, but I wasn't close with him. Coach Adelman's daughter went to University of Portland when I went to University of San Diego, and that's back in the day that the men's team and women's team were traveling together, and so I knew her a little bit because one of my buddies was on the University of Portland and buddies from high school. And then she was actually, I might get killed for this because he's married to somebody else now, but she was dating Eric Spoelstra, and Eric Spoelstra and I were buddies, so I know Kathy a little bit. That's about it. Little side note.
I have a game-related question for you, if that helps transition out of this. Sorry. So sorry.
No follow-up.
Obviously, the last time you guys played the Clippers was not very long ago, and it was a historic game. Curious what your message is to the guys going into tonight, and what you think is the most, or two elements that are incredibly important for you guys to kind of focus on this game.
Well, it's no different from the standpoint that everybody knows that we want to get out of transition, we want to run, and they have experienced veterans that do a good job defensively, especially in the half court. So we can't go against their set defense all the time, especially with the bigs that they have in Zubac and Plumlee, the length that they have on the perimeter. So offensively, it's going to be the same, and then defensively, we have to try to be a little bit more physical at the beginning of the game to set the tone, because everybody says that there was no defense in that game, and yeah, you can kind of argue that a little bit, but I would almost err, and I feel like I'm pretty critical. I would almost err that there was just some amazing shot making. I mean, some of the shots that Kawhi hit with a hand in his face, and sometimes even pumping to get his defender off the ground, and then kind of leaning back and shooting the shot, just amazing. And so trying to play with a little bit more physicality at the beginning of the game to try to set the tone in a different direction than that game a week or two ago will be something that I'm going to push our guys to do.
Coach, first of all, congrats on Coach of the Month.
Right.
We've heard you talk about ways that you've challenged Keegan this season, whether it's being a more engaged rebounder, dunking when attacking the basket. Can you talk to us a little bit about your assessment of the way that he's been able to accept these challenges and really his development up until this point in the season?
No, he's been fantastic. He, you can see him making strides throughout the course of the year in a lot of different areas that we've talked about. And what I like about it is, I was pushing him and to do something not too long ago, and kind of in front of the team to a certain degree, and he was like, I can do more, and I like that confidence, and I'm just waiting for it to come fully out. But you could tell he's a confident young man, because I've coached him fairly hard. It hadn't been easy for him, and every time I've challenged him in a certain area, he hasn't shied away from it, and he's taken it to heart, trying to go out there and do it. So, obviously we have a lot of season left, but we all will be able to enjoy his growth as time goes on.
Mike, obviously, winning instills belief, but you've alluded to it, and some of the players have alluded to it, that you guys had a level of belief even before you started winning. How do you instill belief in guys before they do accomplish the winning that reinforces it?
The biggest thing is probably celebrating small victories, but being consistent in what you believe in as a coach when you celebrate those victories. And when you do, and the guys see the success from this small victory or that small victory, it really adds up. And it speaks volumes as time goes along, especially when you go win a game doing all these little things the right way. And I would say that probably more than anything else. And then, the last thing is when you're coaching somebody, you sometimes, you always have to tell the truth, but when you tell the truth, there's a way to say it. And, everybody that we have, I feel, is more than capable of passing, dribbling, and shooting. They're very skilled, and they're capable defenders. And so it's more or less not, you didn't do this, it's, you could do this, so go do it. So it's also the way that you demand excellence from your team too.
Mike, I want to get back to who used to date who in the West Coast Conference.
Okay.
No, but seriously though, your name, to take this Coach of the Month conversation up a notch, like your name has come up increasingly in the Coach of the Year discussion now, and I know, maybe your feelings about that are similar to what you've said about Coach of the Month, but just, what would it mean to you, and what does it just say about where this team is, and to Chris's question before about instilling belief and kind of a level of focus, I think, that maybe we haven't seen here in Sacramento, and purpose. Like, do all of those things kind of come together when you start to hear your name come up in those conversations in terms of the job you're doing here?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like I said, I firmly believe this, and learned this at a young age working for Pop, is this is a players' league, and you appreciate the players that you have on your team, because if you didn't have them, you wouldn't be sitting where you are for too long, or having the success that we may have as an organization. And so I look at our guys, I look at Foxy, I look at Domas. Those guys are all stars. The reality of it is, if we keep winning, they should be first, second, third All NBA players. That's how impactful that they've been for our team and for winning this year. And when you have those types of guys, when you have a guy in Keegan Murray who should be in the conversation for Rookie of the Year, at minimum first team All Rookie, again, that speaks volumes. And then you look at a vet and HB and some of the other guys that have bounced around from Malik to Trey to TD, these guys are finally getting an opportunity, and they're taking advantage of the opportunity. So again, it speaks volumes to who those guys are as people first and as players second, and the opportunity that they're getting to step up and show out. And when that happens, we all get a little love as we go along the way, and you feel good about it, like I said, for them, and in particular for the fans of the Sacramento Kings and the people around the city. Thank you, Coach. Thanks.